somebody really sick designed most of this stuff. This is supposed to be like Jigsaw's place, and it's like when you walk in, you go, some wacko like made this place, and well, in real life, some wacko did make it. Like, who thought up all this crap, you know what I mean? It's disgusting.
Jigsaw's lair was a blast to put together. I mean, it was almost more sculptural than it really was designed. Most of the set dressing you see here came from a series of tractor-trailer loads of set dressing we had bought from other movies. Really, we wanted to just fill the place up. The hardest thing is to have a script that says they walk into the warehouse and then have to fill an entire warehouse. Our studio here is 36,000 square feet, and when we walked in, there was not a single object in here. Trying to create the sense of a warehouse in a place this big is quite a challenge often when you're on a limited budget and you have limited time. And not to mention the fact that we had to squeeze another 25 sets into the same studio. I had asked the set decorators to bring me pieces that we could build with, things that were from junkyards, things that were all found objects, because we didn't want anything to have the feeling that it was brand new. We wanted everything to be something that he might have picked up at a garage sale, something he might have found in the garbage, something in a back alley, just because we wanted it to have that kind of a patina, that kind of a quality to it. The old leg hold traps, barbed wire, the cages, everything in here, I wanted to have some age to it, because we wanted Jigsaw to have this raw feel where it becomes a little more horrific, that a torture device might be made out of something rusty or something kind of gnarly, like old dentistry equipment. I mean, what's grosser than going to the dentist? A lot of these things are relatively meaningless, but rather we wanted them to have a feeling of being torture devices. I mean, this is obviously his dealings with electronics. These were all Jigsaw's hobby tables. These are the things that in his spare time he's working on for the future. Over here you see the beginnings of what might have been a torture device for breaking a leg, for when the SWAT guys get their leg broken on the stairs. We wanted Eric and Jigsaw to have some alone time. We wanted the SWAT team and the investigators to have to go off in another direction to really find where the signal's coming from and where the signal's going. Back in here you see a cage that's Jigsaw's monitor area. This is where he's been carrying on his surveillance within the house. And here we wanted to have the sense that this was probably the manager's office within this big plant in the Wilson Steel factory, but then also bring in these found pieces of electronics that Jigsaw had thrown together. It was very pieced together haphazardly so that our police investigators would get lost in the electronics, not really having any indication where the signal comes from or where the signal goes.
You got a lock?
Welcome to my nightmare, the Jigsaw bathroom.
Well, first of all, let me say that when we did the first film and we shot 6.5 days in the bathroom, when I called a wrap on that set on the first film, it was one place I never thought I'd ever be setting foot in again.
For Saw 2, we had to recreate the Jigsaw bathroom from scratch. We had to do it exactly to match the first one. It's sort of a unique thing to be a production designer and then redesign another production designer's set. Julie Berghoff did a great job designing it in the first place. I think that it looked fantastic in the first Saw. The detail that she put into that was just remarkable. I had the good fortune of Julie being here working just down the building in another studio, so I was able to refer to her and we were able to just call on Julie and say, can you come over and have a look and tell us what you think about this?
Because the first Saw was such a low-budget film, we didn't have any real blueprints or anything to go by for recreating this. So we pulled stills from the first movie, from the DVD.
Some of the things we had to do here were recreate all the tile work, of course the damage in the tiles, the paint jobs, stains around the fixtures, and we had to find some of the pieces that of course started in LA and now we had to recreate in Toronto. Definitely a bit of a challenge. It got down to the point where we were literally counting tiles to try to figure out the sizes of things. 1, 2, 3, I think that pipe's 2 tiles over, 2 tiles up. Dan Hefner was giving me a rough time about it.
I was his worst nightmare for that set because I would come down every day and I'd look at it and I'd go, you know, it's just not right. There's something wrong. That pipe should be just 2 inches over that way. And you know, that was a little dirtier over there, that bathtub was.
I'd haul the set decorators back in here and they'd move the urinal 19 tiles up and 1 tile over, and make Dan happy. But we got all the details right, I think. Vomit around the toilet, of course the heart, which is a nice touch from Julie. Again, our scenic artists did a fantastic job making it look exactly as it was everywhere. Everything was exactly as it was in the first one, and I think our team did a great job.
So we kind of pieced it back together again, and I was just as glad to get out of there the second time round as I was the first time round. And we pretty much left this set in the same condition as we did in the first movie, covered with blood and gore.
All in all, I defy anyone to find a difference between the first one and this one.
Kill your husband now, Mrs. Gordon.
If you want us to go through a chance.